Hello, everyone. My name is Liz Emis. I am the Minister of Education here at First United Methodist in Omaha. And today or this week, whenever you may be joining, thank you. So glad that you're here. So glad we can share this time together. Today, I am going to take a little bit of a break from our discussion of Acts, the book of Acts, and instead invite you to something. On Sunday, which actually for me is today, but on Sunday, depending on when you're watching this, I will have given a message or offered a message on Genesis 3, the book of Genesis chapter 3. Now, many of us know, though not everyone, that these scrolls did not originally have chapters. They didn't have numbered chapters. And since they didn't have numbered chapters, they certainly did not have numbered verses or lines. Those were added in many, many generations later to try and organize it a bit. That means that much of the book and the books within the book are compiled, pieced together. In Genesis alone, particularly in the chapter that I'm referring to, you have at least two different authors. Names we do not know, but we know there is a priestly or P source and a J or Yahwehist source. So two sources came together and compiled this, which means they didn't work together, but someone else put their stuff together. My invitation to you is to think about what this passage may or may not have meant to you, how it may or may not have affected you growing up and into adulthood. This is the passage where Adam and Adam's companion eat of the fruit of the tree of knowledge of good and evil. And in the process of that, their relationship with God and God's relationship with them shifts a bit, and they leave the garden to go till and toil the soil outside of it. I know how I was presented this story, and I was presented this story rather young. Even if you're not explicitly presented this story when you're young, those who are raising you and surrounding you were likely exposed to this. And so it is influencing how they treat you and expect you to treat them, their worldview, their approach. I'm inviting you to, instead of assuming we know what this passage is about and what it means, I'm inviting you to reread it without any preconceived notion. Much of what we are told this passage is about, we are told because we trusted those who told us. But if you simply read the words on the page, a lot of what we've been told isn't in there. It's fascinating. This is where we get the discussion of original sin. Some subscribe to that, some do not. That came about many, many decades later and after Jesus had died. Saul, was looking for a way to reconcile the death and resurrection of Jesus of Nazareth. And being a devout Jew who was very literate, very learned, he went back to what he knew and tried to find Christ, tried to find reasons in former works. That is called proof texting. It's also called supersessionism, depending on whether or not you're trying to find Jesus in the Hebrew Bible, which he is not. And through that thread, over the generations, we have developed this understanding now of original sin, of Adam and Eve. But if you read the text, it ain't in there. What we think is in there is not what's there. There is something there, but not often what we've been told. So I invite you actually to read that, set aside any preconceived notion. Don't read into the text. Don't read the word in front of you, assuming you know the words that come after. Just the words on the page. And then I invite you to listen to the sermon, which will be posted, and it will be live streamed as well, so you should be able to find it on the Facebook page. And then drop in your comments. Tell me what you think. Tell me if it made you think. Tell me if this understanding of Genesis 3 shifts your understanding of God. Because when that happens, it shifts everything. Your relationship to those you love, your relationship to those you don't yet know, your sense of responsibility, your sense of justice, everything. And with that, have a wonderful week, and amen.